started the meeting, you are the host, so you might be the
You
one
just pushed it, Alana. We're good.
Okay. All right. We're live on YouTube as well. So that's fun. So we'll have both the recording and then the after the fact of the live YouTube that can be watched later. So if you want to revisit the broadcasted portions of this meeting afterwards, or if anyone misses it, they'll be able to find it in those places. It's also cool to follow or subscribe to our YouTube page because other cool videos go out, like Marie talking about the plants. You can see my dog as Sherlock Bones over there as well, and there's other cool things that come out on those. So now that went a little differently than I expected, let me make sure I've hit everything. All right, so welcome everyone. We're excited that you are all here. We're only like a minute behind. It all worked out. So we've got a really fun evening planned. So just as a final reminder, it's a webinar right now. So you are more like an audience who is watching this, but we are going to have a check-in portion as sort of the last portion of this evening's event. And you will be able to turn your video and audio on if you would like to, and then we can all sort of share and check in with one another at that time. So now that we've gotten that sort of housekeeping out of the way, I will turn it over to Allison to get us started.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. This is going to be a very fun, I think, volunteer virtual gathering. So Sarah is going to talk a little bit about the Archives Bazaar, which is pretty cool. Chris is going to talk about Long Beach Gives, which was, hands up in the air, pretty amazing. Marie is going to talk about a garden learning volunteer that's going to happen in the next week or so. And of course, what we're really excited about is Diana Trombley's presentation. And so I know Megan's going to introduce her, but she's got a great presentation. We're super excited about it. And it should be a really fun evening. So thank you all for being here. And with that, I am going to turn it over. I believe it is to Sarah.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all. Nicholas making his departure. Anyway, sorry about that. Did you know that October is Archives Month? We actually have a whole month dedicated to the celebration of archives. And so a special thing that happens in Los Angeles is the Archives Bazaar. And this is put on by LA as Subject. And LA as Subject is like a consortium of different archives, libraries, museums, other archival repositories in the Los Angeles County area. And all of their collections focus on Los Angeles history. And so we are part of LA as Subject, and we participate in Archives Bazaar. Now, normally the Archives Bazaar is hosted in the beautiful Doheny Library on the USC campus. I know a number of you have been there before and participated. So typically the Rancho will have a table at kind of the vendor booth section to show something from our collection and to connect with other people who either work in archives or are interested in archives to share our collection and to share history about our site. So this year, Archives Bazaar went virtual, and I'm dropping the link in the chat box right now. And so I'm going to show you a couple of things from Archives Bazaar and how the Rancho participated. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, it says disabled attendee screen sharing. So I'm not able to share my screen.
1 sec, Sarah.
Okay, so while Megan works on that. So one thing that we were able to do is share a piece from our collection that we wouldn't normally travel with. And so last year we acquired a new piece in our collection, very valuable and very important to our site's history. And it's something that we were really excited to add to our collection. And so kind of the silver lining, as disappointing as it is to not be able to gather at the Doheny Library, it was really neat to be able to show this piece. So I'm sharing my screen now to show you where all this Archives Bazaar stuff lives. So right here on the USC Library page, the link that I posted, this takes you to the Archives Bazaar. And the live event was this past Saturday, but there are things that still live on the website. And so one of them is a virtual exhibit called When I Think of Home, Images from LA Archives. And so you can get there from the Archives Bazaar page, and I encourage you to look through it. It has some really beautiful and interesting photographs, and you will see some that I hope look familiar because they're from the Rancho. Also, the Rancho is featured as one of the exhibitors. So right here in this menu, if you go to on-demand exhibitors, videos, and tutorials, that takes you to a whole list of different things that you can watch. And then down here, these are all short videos from different repositories. So this is a virtual version of where you would walk around and talk to the different archive vendor booths. And so this is what we featured for ours. This also lives on our website, and it's a bit more about that piece that I was just telling you about. So I'll share that with you now.
Hello, my name is Sarah Fitzgerald, and I'm the curator at Rancho Los Cerritos. I'm here in our research library, and I'd like to show you a special piece from our archives collection. Before I get into showing you the piece, I want to give you a little bit of background history about the site that will help you appreciate the piece. The adobe that I'm standing in at Rancho Los Cerritos was built in 1844 and served as the headquarters for John Temple's cattle ranch. Now, this was when California was part of Mexico. After the Mexican-American War, when the United States annexed California, landowners like John Temple had to lay claim to their land holdings with the United States government. And the piece I have here is an example of that. This is a land appeal submitted by John Temple in 1856. In this piece, there are a number of handwritten pages documenting evidence of his land ownership, as well as the proceedings of the numerous appeals that he went through until his ownership of Los Cerritos was finally confirmed. Now, this was especially important 10 years later when he went to sell his land to the Flint, Bixby and Company, who would establish a sheep ranch at Rancho Los Cerritos in 1866. This piece came into our collection in 2019, and it was given to the Rancho as a donation from some descendants of the Bixbys who purchased Rancho Los Cerritos to establish that sheep ranch. Now, the family had taken good care of the piece and had stored it pretty well, but it still needed the care of a conservator because of its age. And what the conservator did, in addition to repairing some of the pages, is they fixed some of the damage on this red leather binding, and they also worked to help it lay flat. Now, traditionally, legal documents like this would have been stored in courthouses and other offices rolled up. So this piece was rolled up from 1856 until 2019. But for long-term preservation of a piece like this, it's better to have it stored flat. And so the conservator had this piece laying out in her workshop for about a month before it finally uncurled and was able to lay flat like how you see it here today. Now, this is just one of the many artifacts, documents, maps, and other pieces that we have at Rancho Los Cerritos that help us tell stories and open doors to history.
All right, so I stopped my screen share there. So that lives on our website on our collections highlight page. So I encourage you to check that out and see some other pieces that we're sharing with the public, some that we normally have on display in our rooms and some that are typically in storage. But either way, I just wanted to share information about that piece from our archives, but also to let you know that we participated in Archives Bazaar and that our information is still out there for the public to learn more about the Rancho archives. So if there are any questions for me or Nicholas, I'm happy to answer them. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Krista.
Okay. Hi, everybody. So I am here to give you guys an update on Long Beach Gives and how we did last month. So we completely exceeded our goal. We raised $22,508.82. So, woo! Like, and the reason we did so well is because of you guys. Like, you know, we had 26 staff and volunteers sign up as fundraisers. So that was really awesome seeing you guys share your stories of why you love the Rancho, why you volunteer and work here, and sharing your pictures. And, you know, you guys, not only did you share and create your fundraisers, you told your friends about it. So they donated, you donated yourselves. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I've got the open doors picture behind me because you guys, you know, your support during this really difficult year is what is keeping our doors open and is what allows us to share the garden spaces with the public. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say it enough. I want to give kind of a special shout out to Margie because she, of the over 1,000 people who signed up during Long Beach Gives to fundraise for an organization, she raised the most money out of everyone. And because she did that, the Miller Foundation gave us an extra $250 because, you know, it's as a reward for seeing that support we had behind us. And in celebration of us meeting our goals and totally exceeding them, we created a video tour of 4 of these spaces that are currently being renovated through the Opening Doors campaign. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll drop that link in the comments just in case you guys haven't gotten a chance to see that video yet. I know a lot of us are missing being able to go inside the Adobe home. So, you know, it's nice to kind of get to see inside and what's going on in the rooms and the house is still being taken care of. So I'll go ahead and share that. Okay, so that's the link to the campaign updates webpage. So you can always go on there and see how the Opening Doors campaign is doing. And right at the top of that webpage, you'll see the video tour. So just again, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. It is, you know, because of you guys that we can do all this cool stuff. Okay.
All right, I think that means I'm up. Several months ago, after we opened in June, we had several of our volunteers who were graciously and courageously offering to come into the Rancho to act as wayfinders. Many of these volunteers have never had the opportunity to go through house docent or garden docent training or school docent training. So they were beginning to ask Megan and Laura questions about, well, what is this and where do I find that? And Megan said, you know, I think we need some continuing education. There were surveys done. This was very much a moving target. And I am so sorry that it's taken this long. But what we're going to do is, I'm in the midst of creating a brand new program. And this program is called Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow. And Garden Docents, it's not about a plant. It is, in fact, about how, excuse me, Magic making his preview. It is literally about how the spaces of the Rancho have evolved to where they are right now. So this has, I hope, broad appeal. We aren't going to be talking per se about each individual plant. We are actually just going to be talking about how the spaces that we literally interpret today, we walk through today, and what the visitors see today, how those have become what they are. This program is scheduled for me to blather on for about an hour, and then we'll have time for anybody who is courageous enough to ask questions. And this is going to occur 1 week from tomorrow evening. So it's been in quick notes. I'm sure that there will be all kinds of places that you will be able to find it on calendars and the like. And I would really love to have you come and join me as we explore how these spaces have evolved. And with that going on, I think I turn it over to Megan.
Thank you, Marie. And yes, absolutely. Laura will be sending the link for that to all Rancho volunteers next Thursday in the late afternoon. Marie will be live with a lot of information about the gardens. Tonight, we have a feature presentation, but this is in-house only, a special feature just for Rancho volunteers. And so Laura is going to take us off YouTube, but I know that Alana has put the link for the couple people that are viewing us live, streaming live on YouTube.